The transformation photos flooding Instagram tell the same story over and over. People losing 20, 30, even 40 pounds while looking more muscular and defined than before they started dieting. Their secret isn't some expensive supplement or extreme workout routine. It's a simple shift in how much protein they eat every day. The high-protein transformation has become the gold standard for people who want to lose fat without looking skinny, weak, or deflated. These aren't just casual dieters sharing their success stories. Fitness influencers, everyday people, and even celebrities are documenting how eating 1.2 grams of protein per kilogram of body weight completely changed their body composition in just 30 days. The results are so consistent and dramatic that nutritionists and researchers have spent years studying exactly why protein works so much better than traditional low-calorie dieting. The science is clear, but most people still don't understand how to implement a high-protein approach correctly. They either don't eat enough protein to see the benefits, or they make critical mistakes that sabotage their results. The difference between success and failure often comes down to understanding the specific mechanisms that make protein so powerful for fat loss, and knowing exactly how to structure your eating to maximize those benefits. The reason high-protein diets produce such dramatically different results compared to standard weight loss approaches comes down to what happens inside your body when you prioritize protein consumption. Most people who try to lose weight focus on cutting calories, which inevitably leads to losing both fat and muscle tissue. When you lose muscle, your metabolism slows down significantly, making it harder to continue losing weight and almost guaranteeing that you'll regain the weight once you return to normal eating. High-protein diets solve this problem by providing your body with the raw materials it needs to maintain and even build muscle tissue while you're in a caloric deficit. Protein contains amino acids, which are the building blocks your muscles need for repair and growth. When you consume adequate protein, especially around 1.2 to 1.6 grams per kilogram of body weight, your body can preserve muscle mass even when you're eating fewer calories overall. This means that virtually all the weight you lose comes from fat rather than muscle, which is why high-protein dieters look lean and defined rather than just smaller versions of their previous selves. But the benefits go far beyond just muscle preservation. Protein has the highest thermic effect of any macronutrient, meaning your body burns significantly more calories just digesting and processing protein compared to carbohydrates or fats. When you eat protein, 20 to 30% of those calories are burned through the digestion process alone. This is compared to only 5 to 10% for carbohydrates and 0 to 3% for fats. This means that a portion of the protein calories you consume essentially don't count toward your daily caloric intake because they're burned during digestion. The appetite suppression effects of protein are perhaps the most important factor in why high-protein diets work so well for rapid fat loss. Multiple studies have shown that people who increase their protein intake naturally reduce their overall caloric consumption without consciously trying to eat less. Protein triggers the release of several hormones that signal fullness and satisfaction to your brain, including GLP-1, peptide YY, and cholecystokinin. These hormones not only make you feel full during meals, but also reduce cravings and thoughts about food for hours afterward. People following high-protein diets often report that they simply don't think about food as much throughout the day. The constant hunger and cravings that derail most diets become much more manageable when protein intake is optimized. Research shows that people who eat 30 grams of protein at breakfast consume significantly fewer calories throughout the day compared to those who eat the same number of calories from carbohydrates or fats. The satiety effect of protein is so powerful that many people find they can maintain a significant caloric deficit without feeling deprived or constantly hungry. This makes high-protein dieting much more sustainable than traditional approaches that rely on willpower to overcome constant hunger. The timing and distribution of protein throughout the day also plays a crucial role in maximizing fat loss while preserving muscle. Recent research suggests that consuming 25 to 30 grams of protein at each meal optimizes the muscle protein synthesis response, which is your body's process of building and repairing muscle tissue. Eating protein in smaller amounts throughout the day or consuming very large amounts in just 1 or 2 meals is less effective for maintaining muscle mass during weight loss. Implementing a successful high-protein transformation requires more precision and planning than most people realize. The first step is calculating your optimal protein target based on your body weight. For fat loss while preserving muscle, aim for 1.2 to 1.6 grams of protein per kilogram of body weight. A person weighing 70 kilograms would need between 84 and 112 grams of protein per day. This might sound like a lot, but it's actually quite achievable when you plan your meals strategically. The key is including a high-quality protein source at every meal and snack. Lean meats, fish, eggs, dairy products, and protein powders are the most efficient sources because they provide complete amino acid profiles with relatively few calories from carbohydrates or fats. A typical day might include eggs or Greek yogurt at breakfast, chicken or fish at lunch, a protein shake as a snack, and lean meat or legumes at dinner. Each meal should contain 25 to 30 grams of protein to optimize muscle protein synthesis and maintain satiety between meals. Food quality matters significantly when following a high-protein approach. While you can technically meet your protein goals with processed foods like protein bars or deli meats, whole food sources provide better results for body composition and overall health. Chicken breast, lean beef, fish, eggs, Greek yogurt, cottage cheese, and legumes should form the foundation of your protein intake. These foods provide not only complete amino acid profiles, but also important micronutrients that support metabolism and recovery. Meal prep becomes essential when following a high-protein diet because adequate protein requires planning ahead. Cook large batches of chicken, hard-boil eggs, prepare protein-rich snacks, and portion out your meals for the week. Having protein readily available prevents you from defaulting to convenient but low-protein options when hunger strikes. The most common mistakes that sabotage high-protein transformations usually involve either not eating enough protein or poor timing of protein consumption. Many people think they're eating a lot of protein when they're actually consuming less than 1 gram per kilogram of body weight. A piece of chicken breast might seem substantial, but it only contains about 25 grams of protein. A cup of Greek yogurt provides another 15 to 20 grams. Unless you're deliberately tracking your protein intake, it's easy to fall short of your targets. Another common mistake is consuming too much protein at once, particularly in the evening. While your body can process large amounts of protein, the muscle-building response is optimized when protein is distributed throughout the day. Eating 60 grams of protein at dinner while having minimal protein at breakfast and lunch is less effective than spreading that protein across all 3 meals. Many people also make the mistake of choosing protein sources that are high in calories from fats. While foods like nuts, cheese, and fatty cuts of meat do contain protein, they also provide significant calories from fat, which can make it difficult to maintain the caloric deficit necessary for fat loss. Prioritize lean protein sources and add healthy fats separately to control your total caloric intake. Some people become so focused on hitting their protein targets that they neglect other important nutrients. Vegetables, fruits, and complex carbohydrates are still important for providing fiber, vitamins, minerals, and energy for workouts. A successful high-protein diet includes adequate protein while still maintaining a balanced intake of other macronutrients and micronutrients. Finally, many people expect to see dramatic results within the first week and become discouraged when the scale doesn't move immediately. High-protein diets often result in rapid changes in body composition, with fat loss and muscle maintenance happening simultaneously. This means the scale might not reflect your progress accurately, especially in the first few weeks. Take progress photos, body measurements, and pay attention to how your clothes fit, rather than relying solely on the scale. The real power of high-protein transformations lies not just in the rapid fat loss, but in the sustainable habits and improved relationship with food that develops over time. People who successfully implement high-protein eating often report that maintaining their results becomes much easier because they've learned to prioritize satiety and muscle preservation rather than just cutting calories arbitrarily. The increased muscle mass from adequate protein intake also means their metabolism remains elevated even after they reach their goal weight, making long-term maintenance more achievable. As you embark on your own high-protein transformation, focus on consistency rather than perfection. Track your protein intake for at least the first few weeks to ensure you're meeting your targets, but don't become obsessive about hitting exact numbers every single day. Plan your meals around protein sources and build your other foods around that foundation. Include strength training to maximize the muscle-building benefits of your increased protein intake. Most importantly, view this as a long-term lifestyle change rather than a temporary diet. The habits you develop during your 30-day high-protein challenge should be sustainable practices that you can maintain for months and years to come. The goal isn't just to lose weight quickly, but to transform your body composition in a way that improves your health, confidence, and quality of life permanently. High-protein eating isn't just about looking better in transformation photos, although that's certainly a motivating benefit. It's about building a stronger, healthier body that supports all your other goals and activities. When you prioritize protein, you're investing in muscle mass that will serve you well as you age, metabolic health that supports energy and vitality, and eating habits that naturally regulate your appetite and body weight. The transformation photos you see on social media are just the visible representation of much deeper changes in health, fitness, and overall well-being.